John said he looked into getting tickets for tonight's game, but it was just a little out of his price range. As you can see, there is a huge crowd out here. While the setting changes quite a bit, the name remains the same. It's the Battle of the Two Columbias here in South Carolina. Hello, everybody. I'm outside Kauffman Stadium, where 3 hours before game time, people are already tailgating. Here at Crown Center Plaza, right in front of this blue fountain. You can't see it right now because there's nothing there because of the rain, but earlier last week, as seen in the video that you're seeing right now, 13 designers from Hallmark came out and created a chalk mural. Mississippi State has the Junction, Ole Miss has the Grove, and Mizzou, well, we're still trying to find our niche. Plenty of people are here right now trying to get autographs from their favorite players, starting their tailgates, getting the grills started.
Sports can bring out the best and worst in us, whether we're fans or athletes. KOMU8's Madi Morris shows us how members of one particular team bring the heat once they slip on the skates.
Alice Krasinski works as a buyer at Clover's Natural Market, but in her free time, she takes to a unique hobby.
If you were to look at me when I'm at work, you probably would not think that I do that kind of stuff.
Her hobby includes skates, pads, and a mouthpiece. Krasinski, also known as, get this, felon, is one of 19 women on Columbia's All-Star Roller Derby team.
We have folks that work as nutritionists. We have people who are anthropologists or work at a museum. One of the attractions of Derby is that you really can be anything you really are in your day-to-day and then still be able to play Derby.
Twice a week, women from all walks of life get together to train for their upcoming bouts. And for some, this means dropping their work persona at the door.
I have to act so much differently when I'm on the track, not in a mean way by any means. People assume that it's like really super aggressive, alternative girls, and you have to be big and mean, which is completely untrue. Like, some of the Derby people that I skate with now are some of the sweetest people I've ever met. They just happen to like to get on skates and hit people with their bodies.
But the physicality isn't the only draw.
We are athletes and the type of women that are looking for something that sport that not only challenges us physically but also challenges us mentally and then provides us with a community.
So even for the shy woman known as Felon, it's more than just a hobby.
It's a source of pride for me just because, again, it made me come out of my shell and challenge myself in ways I had never thought that I would do.
Madi Morris, KOMU8 Sports, Columbia.
It's been 3 decades and it's been well worth the wait.
We've all heard it's been 29 years since the playoffs, but what about the World Series?
This tops it all. This is absolutely, we're going to the World Series since 1985!
The Royals struck early.
Grounded to first, they're going to come to the plate, and the ball gets away. It was kicked out of the glove. Here comes Aoki. 2-run score.
And held on late to sweep the Orioles.
Router to third, fair ball. Moustakas across, and 29 years of frustration has ended.
Confetti was thrown, reminding Ann-Backs of a similar celebration 29 years ago.
We went to the parade during the Kansas City parade. There was so much confetti, everybody was smoking cigarettes, and our shoelaces caught on fire.
Fans who weren't even born the last time this happened are excited, but even those who were around.
I was here in 1985.
I was 15 when they run the 85.
Do you remember anything?
I was there.
We had season tickets in 85.
Feel like 29 years is still worth the wait.
This is much better than 1985. I love it. Go Royals!
Madi Morris, KOMU8 News, Kansas City. The Kansas City logo is in the national spotlight as the Royals play for the World Series. Earlier today, I had the opportunity to stop by one major Kansas City corporation who is responsible for the logo. At Hallmark, they know about crowns. The Hallmark Corporation, started by J.C. Hall in 1910, has grown into an influential part of Kansas City.
So Hallmark is involved through its people and its products and its cash grants all over the place in Kansas City.
So that's why in 1968, when the Royals started, they asked Hallmark to create the team's logo. Hallmark called on 15 artists to create different logos in which one would be chosen for the team. The winning logo was Shannon Manning's.
The guy whose design won the competition says he thinks maybe they came to us because they knew we did crowns.
Hallmark isn't currently making anything for the Royals, but they have been showing their support. here at Crown Center Plaza, right in front of this blue fountain. You can't see it right now because there's nothing there because of the rain, but earlier last week, as seen in the video that you're seeing right now, 13 designers from Hallmark came out and created a chalk mural in support of the Royals playing in the World Series. Hallmark's Children's Art Center, Kaleidoscope, is also showing its support by making crowns for their fall project. Whether the Royals win or lose the series, Hallmark plans on being a part of this historic season. Now, Odell says she did not want to jinx the team for tonight, but figures there will be some sort of celebration in Kansas City in the next few days, and Hallmark will be participating in that. Reporting live in Kansas City for the Sports Extra, Madi Morris, KOMU 8 News. Good morning, everyone. As many of us already know, the Missouri men's basketball team has not had the most ideal season. Currently in the middle of a 13-game losing streak, the Tigers will play host to the Florida Gators tonight. But even in the midst of this rut, there may be a silver lining. In tonight's matchup, the Gators will be without their top two leading scorers. Guard Michael Frazier is out with an ankle injury, and forward Dorian Finney-Smith is suspended for violating team rules. For Mizzou, this is the longest losing streak in Tiger basketball history. The Gators are also struggling. They have dropped 8 of their last 11 games, including a 70-63 loss Saturday at LSU. Tonight's game kicks off at 8 p.m. and can be seen on the SEC Network. Now, the high school basketball district basketball playoffs are underway for smaller schools, and last night high school girls were in action. Starting with the Southern Boone and South Callaway girls basketball game, the Eagles were out to a fast start. Skyle Beeson here hits the elbow jumper from the corner. Then later on, it would be Farron Griffin from the top of the key. She swishes it in, gives the Eagles a good lead. Later on, first shot, no good, but Trishall Smith in for the rebound. She gets it and she puts it back up, giving them the points. Smith again, she dribbles it in, the layup, and it's good. Eagles have quite a lead over the Bulldogs. Bulldogs trying to muster up a comeback, but, you know, it just didn't work out. South Callaway falls 62-37. Then Hallsville was taking on Montgomery County. They were using three-pointers often. There, Hannah Ricketts with the deep three. Later off the inbound, Courtney Cotton from the long range. Then Hannah Smith will hit a three ball. Threes everywhere. It's raining threes. The Indians out to an early double digits lead, but Montgomery County would not go away. Kayla Schmidt here with the mid-range jumper. Then Hope Eoff will come with down the court runner. Oh, she gets it in, but Hallsville will hang on to win it 52-40. Now tonight, the boys in Class 3 begin their district playoff games in Mocaine. The night will kick off with Michael Porter Jr. and the Tolton Trailblazers taking on Montgomery County at 4 p.m. The game following that will be at 5:30, featuring the Herman Bearcats playing the Southern Boone Eagles. And then later on at 7 p.m., California, who is 18-2 on the season, will face off against North Callaway. We will have all those highlights for you, including the last conference game between Rockbridge and Battle tonight at KOMU at 10 o'clock. Now, 2 Missouri Tigers are SEC Pitchers of the Week. Freshman Paige Lowry of the softball team earns the honor after winning 3 games this weekend in California, and Reggie McLean of the baseball team earns the honor for the 2nd week in a row. McLean leads the SEC in 6 categories, including ERA, innings pitched, and wins. Against Sam Houston State, he threw the first Mizzou complete game shutout since against Georgia in 2013. He now has the 17th inning strikeout streak, which is the longest since Jace James went 19 1/3 innings beginning into the 2013 season. And another Mizzou sport that deserves recognition is the Mizzou gymnastics team. According to the latest Gym Info rankings released yesterday, the Tigers are ranked 23rd in the nation. This is the Tigers' first in-season ranking in the top 25 since 2012. Additionally, Missouri ranks 20th nationally on vault in the latest events ranking. The Tigers return to action this Friday at number 17 Arkansas at 7 p.m. And now, although it kills me to even show video from this team playing, I think everyone will like the end result. Last night, number 8 Kansas took on Kansas State. The Kansas State teams were ready to go. The rivalry was big. Here's jump to the second half. Nigel Johnson with the 3 ball ties the game up. Later on, the Wildcats up by 2. Nina Williams with the layup, giving K-State a 4-point lead. Then later on, K-State up again by 2. Wesley Nwandu with the lay-in. The Wildcats end up winning 70-63. Fans rush the court, which they should. KU goes down, so I guess we'll see how they do, with their next few games. And that's all we've got for sports this morning. Last night, the Chicago Cubs rallied back and handed the St. Louis Cardinals their 4th straight loss for the first time in more than a year. But even with the loss, the Birds did gain something. St. Louis signed veteran free agent A.J. Pierzynski last night, and he had his first career start with the Birds today, wearing number 35. Here we have Pierzynski sporting his catching gear. His team got off to quite the start today. First inning, Matt Adams clears the bases with a double to right field to bring in Carpenter and Wong. The Bird take an early 2-0 lead, trying their best to bounce back from last night's loss. Then in the same inning, Pierzynski up to bat for the first time with the Cardinals. He grounds out to second, although later on in the game, he would add an RBI to his repertoire. He'd have a chance to redeem himself on defense in the 4th, but the throw to second is short as Bonifacio steals the base. That would be costly because he ends up scoring later on in the inning with this ground out from Anthony Rizzo. The Cubs cut the lead in half. Then we go to the 6th inning with Nate Shearhortz up to bat. He comes in to pinch hit for Chicago, and right away he hits a home run all the way to right field. The game is tied up at 2. Then later on in the 7th, with the Cards up 3-2 now, Matt Evans comes up big, this time to right center field. A triple, it goes all the way to the fence, gives him 4 RBIs on the night. That blows the game open as Carpenter and Holiday score, making it 5-2. The Cards end their losing streak and win this one 6-3. Then the Kansas City Royals had pitchers Jeremy on the mound, hosting the Indians again tonight. He struggled early, giving up this 2-out double to Jason Kipnis. It was 2-0 before that. That extended the lead to 4. It hasn't been a good year for Guthrie, though. His winning percentage is currently the 2nd lowest mark in his 11-year career. Despite that, the Royals start to rally. In the 4th now, down 5-2, Nori Aoki, who was a hero from 2 nights ago, gets another big hit down the right field line. That triple scores 2 more and makes it a 1-run ball game. But not for long, because with the game tied in the 5th, last night's hero Billy Butler hits the go-ahead home run for the 2nd consecutive night. That made it 7-5 Royals, and that would be the final score on the night. The Royals will look to sweep the Indians in the last game of the series tomorrow. Now, 3 Mid-Missouri kids found themselves in Akron, Ohio this weekend, competing in the 77th annual All-American Soapbox Derby. Caden Montague was racing in the stock division. He was the first to compete of the 3. Here he is in his cute little orange car in the middle lane, cruising down the track. He misses first place just by a little bit, and he didn't get to advance to the next heat. He ends up coming in 2nd. Then later on, his brother took to the track for the super stock division. Here he is racing in the lane 1 far left. He would lose in the opening round of his division as well. Then the last Columbia native competing was Breanne Standifer. She competed in the Masters division. She won her opening heat, but then was later defeated in her 2nd heat. And the kids aren't the only ones representing Mid-Missouri this weekend. Another Columbia native will be competing in some car racing on a bigger scale. Carl Edwards will be racing in NASCAR's 2nd biggest race of the year, the Brickyard 400 tomorrow at the Indianapolis Motor Speedway. Edwards, who currently ranks 4th in the 2014 NASCAR Sprint Cup standings, has already chalked up 2 wins on the year and has 8 top 10 finishes. In his most recent race on July 13th, he finished 13th. In tomorrow's race, Edwards will start 18th position. The race begins tomorrow at noon. And we are officially 1 week away from the start of Mizzou Fall Football Camp, so we'll take a look at some of the changes Tiger fans will see this season. Mizzou lost a lot of talent from last year's Cotton Bowl champion team. Only 62% of last year's team will return this year. On offense, the Tigers only returned 36% of total offense and 29% of total offensive touchdowns. Players like Jimmy Hunt and Darius White will step up on the receiving end. Then as for the defense, players such as defensive end Coney Ely and Michael Sam, who are both in the NFL, will be replaced by Marcus Golden and Shane Ray. And that's all we got for sports tonight.